Okay, today we are going to discuss the next unit, and this is useful not just for A level students but for university students as well. And we are starting the next topic, which is religion. And in this video, we are particularly going to see what religion is. A very strong factor in the world, at least for the last 2000 years, and it has shown a resurgence in every century. So in this video, we'll just try to show what religion exactly is, and we'll try to come up with some definition and with some characteristics. So let's quickly see what religion is from a sociological point of view. So there are certain ideas that define religion. So religion can have a concept of God or as some supernatural force, but this supernatural force will surely exist beyond direct experience. And no one can ever say that God is his direct personal experience. Of course, the experience with the divine can be personal, but it can be, but it's not direct. So, of course, there are different types of religions, of very many types. One of the oldest religions in the world is animism. You will still find it in African tribes, and in this way of approaching the supernatural, objects, places, creatures take a very special position because they have some essence which is spiritual. Even rocks can have that essence. So, this is an ancient religion. Then we will move to the monotheistic or the Abrahamic religions, which at different points in times have accused each other of not being monotheistic in the strict sense. We will, of course, try to avoid those controversies, but as you know, in the study of religion, it's always not very easy to avoid those controversies. Then there are, of course, the polytheistic religions. The monotheistic religions believe in the existence of one supreme deity, the one true God. The polytheistic religions, of course, will talk about various deities, and they fall in various categories. Though I will personally not include Hinduism in the category of polytheistic religions per se, though idol worship and image worship is encouraged in Hinduism, but it may not be considered a very integral part of the religion, though it's highly, highly encouraged. Yet Hindus believe in the existence of one supreme deity, which they call the Brahma, or the ultimate truth. Again, then in South America and in Africa, animism is practiced till this day. The dead have a very special place in this worldview. There are festivals each year in which the dead are actually brought back, and they are dressed and they are treated as if they are not dead. Okay, so that's the first thing, that they will have some concept of the supernatural, even if it's not God, then it will be spiritual or something like that. And then the second thing is that there will be set of practices like worship, prayer. This can be collective, or it can be through a personal communication with God, like the Muslim prayer, which can be the obligatory prayers, of course, are congregational. You offer them collectively, but personal communication is also very much encouraged, and it's a personal communication with God. Likewise, the Christian prayer, a personal communication. The Hindu prayer, also, it can be either done collectively or on a personal basis. So this is an example of communal worship that happens every year. This is the Islamic Hajj, which takes place once a year, which is to be performed by every Muslim who can. who is capable, physically and financially capable, of undertaking this pilgrimage. Religions are also characterized by rituals like exorcism, and the Roman Catholics and the Eastern Orthodox churches do engage heavily in evicting the devil from the body of possessed individuals. So again, Christians have certain rituals which define what they are, and they are called the sacraments. And there are three major sacraments: the sacrament of initiation, vocation, and healing. And then, of course, baptism takes a very important role in that. The Eucharist, which is the drinking of the blood of Christ. All these things take a very important role in Christianity, and of course, we cannot ignore the significance of um, the confession, which used to take place, at one time, and it's a very important part of Christian religion ethos. And then, of course, there is this picture is the baptism of the dead, which is part of the Mormon religion, which is found in the United States, the western side of the United States. The third thing which religions will exhibit will be some kind of organization. Religion over time becomes organized, though it starts with one prophet, with one apostle, with one preacher. It becomes highly hierarchical over time. The church develops its own structure, and it's not just an organizational but also a power structure, and so do other institutions of religion. For example, in Saudi Arabia, there's a permanent committee to deal with religious matters, and that committee reports to the Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia. In Iran, there is a Supreme Council which discusses religious matters, but it's more advisory. It advises the supreme leader, and then he takes the decision. In the Vatican, everything is decided by these cardinals who advise the Pope. So they represent a very hierarchical and a very rigid structure. Religions are also characterized by diversity. Okay, yes, they are homogeneous, but over time, societies change, and religions may change within the same society. They might change in the same society at the same time, and they can change between different societies at different times, or at the same time. Okay, a religion practiced in the Middle East in the same time may not be the same as that practiced in another part of the world. So religions therefore have a dual character. They may be individual, they are both individual and social. And you are religious based on different things. I mean, it's not necessary for a Christian to set foot in a church ever in life to be a Christian. For that, he has to believe in a certain Christian moral consciousness. Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, is said never to have set foot in a temple before he became Prime Minister. So every religion then has some social contract. A social contract is a person's willingness and his voluntary commitment to honor the codes of society. For example, in Islam, Surah Nisa, the fourth chapter of the Quran, sets forth the social contract, and that is where the Sharia starts taking shape. It says, "Give often their rights, and do not mix their wealth with yours." And those who swallow their wealth unjustly fill their bellies with fire, and they will soon be thrown into that fire. So this is a law. This is not just something which is an ethical injunction. This is the law. You do this, there is a definite punishment for this. And then the social contract goes on. The Sharia develops even further regarding women. Treat these women fairly. Okay, and they have virtues. Do not forget that they have virtues. So please treat them fairly. Religions also bring about social integration. Love thy neighbor. The Christians say that, but in Islam also, your neighbor who is your relative or not your relative, be good to him. This is the Christian tenet. Okay, and now religions are also shaped by common experience. Now this is what brings about social integration. That's a very important function of religion. It brings about social integration based on some common experience. Now this is the Maurya dynasty, which existed 250 years before Christ. But this was ruled by the Mauryas, and if you can see clearly that it extends from Kashmir to the southern India, not the southern tip, but southern India. So the temple worshippers in south of India, extreme south, when they visited the temples in Kashmir in the extreme north, they saw that something was common between them, and what was common was religion. This is a temple in the south, this is the temple in Kashmir, separated completely. But surely, slowly but surely, a nation was forged, not in the name of a religion, but by religion, definitely. And a very rich Hindu culture and a very rich Hindu mythology developed, which is a lot richer than the mythology that you'll ever find in Greece or in Rome. And then, of course, there are the Jews. They are sprinkled all over the world in various classes and various tribes. So, what makes them one? What brings them together? What creates the integration and the solidarity between them? The solidarity and integration between them is created by a common story to which they can all relate. And they can relate to the story of the Exodus, something which has been researched since the 1890s at least, and not a single piece of archaeological evidence has been discovered to corroborate the story. But they believe in this story, and interestingly, this story is corroborated only by the Muslim Quran. So this is their common suffering, and they believed in this common suffering, and this common suffering was then augmented by the sacking of Jerusalem in 70 AD by Nero, and this continues to bring them together, and to forge them together as one nation. So please, if we can recap, what are the three things that define a religion? What are the three things that make religion a religion? Number one is the concept of a God. Number two is the concept of prayer, which can be individual or collective, and some form of social organization, some form of religious organization, which can help express these beliefs collectively. All right. Thank you very much. In the next class, we will talk about inclusive and exclusive beliefs and religion. Thank you very much.